right. Happy New Year, RT Tribe. We've made it. We've made it into a brand new year. So now it's time to crush those new goals, wrap up the old ones, and celebrate the fact that we're still here to keep pushing forward. Now, let's get into it because today's show is packed. First up, gospel legend Kirk Franklin has folks buzzing after he apologized for his moves and outfit during his performance at Jamaica's Fun in the Sun. But you know what? My message isn't for Kirk. It's for everyone who had something to say about it. And if that's not enough, TikToker Naya's family drama is in full swing, with friends and relatives clashing over deadlift. Oh yes, you knew this was coming. And I've got thoughts you don't want to miss. It's a new year, but real talk is keeping it real as ever. Let's get into it. All right, so let's just dive into this because I've got something to say about all these comments that are being made, about, Kirk Franklin and his, attire and everything that happened here. Now, as Christians, we can be so quick to judge, always ready to call out someone else on their actions while conveniently forgetting that we need to take a long, hard look in the mirror. Now, let me take you back 8 months ago. Now, the Breast Just Chicken hosted their annual gospel festival. Everybody should know about Fun in the Sun, and that's something that they normally annually keep each year. Now, big names were on the lineup like Kevin Downswell, Jermaine Edwards, Carlene Davis, and of course, Kirk Franklin. But here's the thing. I didn't even know this event was happening it happened until recently when Kirk's name started popping up on my feed. And why is that? It's because apparently some folks had a lot to say about his attire and performance when he was here in Jamaica. And I guess Kirk, being who he is, he decided that he was going to issue an apology. But let me tell you, this whole situation, it's giving judgy vibes to me, and I think I'm ready to break it all down. So before we all do that, let's just take a look at a couple of clips from, Kirk's apology, and then we can, break it down one by one. Let's take a look.
So early this year, I had the great opportunity to go to Jamaica. Beautiful place. And I had a chance to perform. Watch. I am aware now that my choice of attire, which as a team we thought was going to be fine, being outside in the weather, was going to be something that would not come across as disrespectful. And since I've spent most of my career dancing and moving around and jumping on stage, that I didn't know that I would ever do anything that would ever offend anyone in any community, but it did. And because it did, I sincerely apologize. I sincerely apologize because I never want to get to a place that I can't learn what I need to do better, what I can do different to make sure that as I grow as a man, grow physically, or in any aspect, that I'm always being humble enough and submissive enough to hear people and their concerns about anything being bigger than the message of Jesus. Because it doesn't matter what my goal intent is, if I'm louder than the message.
Now let's just talk about Kirk's outfit. Now, Jamaica is hot. We all know that. Like, light clothing is a norm in Jamaica. Jamaica is hot around the season, every day of the week. Now, Kirk showed up in a gray tank top and white shorts. Now, personally, for me, I don't have an issue with that. You're coming to perform on stage outside. It's hot. I don't have an issue with that. Aside from the fact that the tank top arms were a bit wide, which, showed a little chest on him when he moves around and, all the jumping and the dancing, whatever. But even if some people did feel it wasn't appropriate, here's my question. Why wasn't this addressed backstage? If it was an issue, why didn't someone say something? Where were the event planners or the organizers? Why weren't they saying to him, you know what, hey, Kirk, maybe you want to throw on a shirt because, Jamaicans might feel away based on how you were dressed, and if his outfit was so offensive, why didn't anyone, walk out at the event since you had such a big issue with his outfit, So I just wanted to know why no one said anything. But now, 8 months later, here we are. People are talking about his clothes, his dancing, his performance style, comparing it to R&B. Now, I just have one question. Since when did dancing become reserved for the Whirlian crowd? And when I say Whirlian, I mean people outside of the Christian faith. When did dancing belong to dancehall? When did dancing belong to R&B? When did dancehall belong to African beats? When did this become an ownership thing? I didn't see Kirk grinding on anyone at Fun in the Sun, I didn't see any of that. You maybe seen him done it in the past and, he was chastised for it. And also in the video, he apologized for that. You didn't see that happening here, So was his dancing, over the top? Maybe to some. But let's not act like, the Lord said, thou shalt not move thy feet. The Bible said, come just as you are. So why are we so quick to tear this man down instead of encourage him to grow in faith and do better? Now, a lot of you might say, oh, he's been doing this for years, blah, 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 blah. He should know better. But here's the hard truth. God doesn't just use the perfect, which is the so-called perfect Christians, if there are none out there, because I'm so waiting to still meet that perfect Christian out there. But God doesn't just use his perfect to deliver his message. He uses sinners too. Now, I'm not calling Kirk a sinner or perfect. He has acknowledged that he is a child of God. He is a child of God and he's living for God, right? Now, the focus shouldn't be on who is delivering the message, but on the message itself. If Kirk had been, maybe singing like secular songs, there's no songs that are not of God and all of that, I'd understand the outrage. But this wasn't that. And honestly, some of us need to check ourselves. We ourselves got skeletons in our closets, repeating mistakes and hoping for God's forgiveness. Yet, we're out here labeling Kirk as secular and acting holier than thou. Like, if you look at these comments that should be flashing across your screen, people calling him secular and everybody say, oh, this is not of God and people should know better. Oh, I appreciate people calling out this man in the comments because at least we know it not gone to the dogs. Like, you guys are ridiculous. You guys are ridiculous. Let me remind you, God is the ultimate judge. We don't know the relationship Kirk has with God. For all we know, he could enter heaven's gate while we're left behind for our own hypocrisy. And let's not forget, right here in Jamaica, gospel artists borrowed dancehall rhythms and pastors remix secular beats in church and will happily clap along and enjoy and dance with foot them. So why is Kirk's performance such a problem? Music and dance are not owned by the devil. It's the message behind them that matters. When you watch R&B and you see how they perform and whatever, you understand the message that they're trying to get through to you. It's all about love. It's either about love or it's either about breakup or whatever the hell it is, right? No, you need to focus on the message that matters and not what is happening in regards to the person dancing. Now, I applaud Kirk for apologizing where it was needed. Yes. that video that they show with him twerking on a woman while performing is just completely unacceptable and unbecoming for a man of faith. Leadership comes with responsibility, and Kirk is not an exempt from that. But let's not pretend that walking this Christian path is easy, or that any of us have been perfect since we gave our lives to Christ. You understand me? So instead of judging, why not pray for understanding, forgiveness, and guidance? And let's redirect this energy. Jamaicans, we've got bigger issues to tackle. Our music glorifies violence and hypersexuality, teaching our boys how to kill and our girls how to sell themselves short. That's the fight we should be having, not a fight over Kirk Franklin's tank top or dance move. Let's focus on cleaning up the real mess in our society. All right, let's move on, because this next topic has been brewing for a while. And honestly, I was really hoping I would not have to revisit it, but here we are. So last year, TikTok was rocked when Naya Gang was tragically shot and killed during a live stream on TikTok. It was a shocking and heartbreaking moment that left an imprint on many. And since then, a lot has unfolded, and unfortunately, it seems the drama surrounding this passing isn't settling anytime soon. First, let's talk about Naya's father. Now, reports say he came to Jamaica, possibly still here, and did a TikTok live. He apparently now has Naya's chain, ring, watch, and phone, the works. Now, naturally, people are saying, why doesn't he give these things to Naya's daughter? But let's just keep it real for a second. Naya's daughter is underage. What good is the chain, a watch, or a car, like the BMW that he has, going to do for her right now? Like, let's just be honest. How do you ensure that how do you ensure that whoever is caring for her doesn't sell these items and under the pretense that they're providing for her? I mean, we've seen it happen, many times. And I'm sure that especially persons who have lost people in their family, have seen it and experienced it firsthand. Now, here's the harsh reality. If there is no will, there is chaos. The moment someone passes without a clear plan for their belongings, it's a free-for-all. Principles rarely exist in these situations. Everyone suddenly feels entitled and the fights just get ugly. Now, if you're Jamaican, you know exactly what the pink paper means and the madness it brings. That is why having a will is non-negotiable. I don't care if you say, I don't have nothing to leave behind, Even, not even I just a bed and whatever, and them can't fight over that. Them must know so them for sure that no. Even if it's just a sweetie, write it down. Because if you don't trust me, people will fight over crumbs and tarnish your memory in the process. Trust me on that. Now, let's shift to CPR for a second, which is Naya's friend. He's been hosting TikTok lives to honor his memory and raise proceeds for Naya's daughter since the passing of Naya. Now, when I first saw this, actually, my gut reaction was this is not going to end well. This is not going to end well. Now, I say this because I've had personal experience with this firsthand, with people dying. The closest person that passed away from me was my mother. And trust me, firsthand, I saw it. And yes, my mother did not have a will. I saw it firsthand. So, this is not because I think, CPR's intention was bad. Quite the opposite, actually. I genuinely believe he meant well. But the reality is, it's his TikTok page, and while he's raising funds for Naya's daughter, he's also earning from those lives. It's his page, so he has every right to earn from the live. Whether I wanted money or title, people send him yes, it doesn't matter. It's his live. The mere mention of giving proceeds to the little girl was just enough to stir up the vipers then, you know? And sure enough, you know, people started demanding every cent that he earned using Naya's name. It was just only a matter of time, you know. Even at a point, you know, Nicki Minaj wanted to you know, send funds directly to Naya's daughter. But let's be real. Does Nikki understand how things operate here? It's not like America, who you have to have, you need to have somebody who's going to be responsible for you if you get old, or somebody who's responsible. It's just something that they normally have in place. So even normally when you don't have a will, there's always some law that's there to protect them in some way. Now, you know, so I don't know if Nikki really understood how that really operates. So I guess she'd have to, you know, send that money on faith and hope, and truly, you know, hope it benefits the child, because there are no guarantees. Now, things took an even darker turn when CPR shared a voice note he received that of someone threatening him and demanding the money. I'll insert the voice note here for you to, you know, listen to. Now, this is where we are now. Greed is running rampant, with little regard for what's in the best interest of this child. And that's the saddest part of it. It's not about legacy, love, or support. It's all about greed. Everybody wants a piece of the pie, and the child who should be at the center of all of this is at risk of being overlooked, right? But here's my advice to CPR. I don't believe you should give in to these threats. Just pray. Pray for guidance, pray for protection and wisdom on how to move forward. This is not a battle you can handle lightly. Greed blind enough people. And it's clear that some involved don't have the little girl's best interest at heart. All we can do is pray, and that there's someone in this family that has integrity, love, and sense to genuinely protect and guide this child. Because if not, this tragedy will only spiral further, and the little girl deserves so much more than this. So much more. Like, people just need to learn to come together and work together when somebody passes. Like, what are you fighting over deadlift? Go work for what you have. That car that he has there is not going to benefit her. Whoever going to want to fight over it, or whoever going to want to sell it and do whatever, it's going to go crazy. So all we can do is try to do what's best for this child and support her as best as we can. And all the persons that I've seen, I guess, who are directly connected to Naya, who is promising to take care of her, she's going to be okay. I hope you actually do it. I really, really hope you actually do. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. It was such a good show. Remember, we are on the road to 8,000 subscribers. So if you have not joined the RT tribe, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below so that you can become a part of our team, and so that you can continue seeing the videos that I post on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next show.